Have you ever felt like something just wasn't right? Like the man you trusted was hiding something from you? Well, you're not imagining it. When a man is cheating, he lies. And not just any lies, specific ones calculated to keep you in the dark. Today, we're going to expose the 6 most common lies men tell when they're unfaithful. And more importantly, I'll show you how to see right through them. Relationships are built on trust, but trust without truth is just a time bomb waiting to explode. The reality is when a man is cheating, he won't admit it, at least not at first. Instead, he will manipulate, deflect. But here's the good news. As always, leave a trail. If you know what to look for, you can recognize the signs and reclaim your power. Let's break it down. This is one of the most common and deceptive lies a man tells when he's cheating. The phrase itself seems harmless. After all, people can have friends of the opposite sex. But the real question is, why does he feel the need to say it? If a woman truly was just a friend, there would be no reason for him to clarify or defend the relationship so quickly. A faithful man doesn't have to preemptively justify his interactions with someone else because his actions are already transparent. But when a man is cheating, he knows deep down that something about the relationship is inappropriate. Whether it's emotional infidelity, physical intimacy, or simply laying the groundwork for something more, he understands that his connection with this friend crosses a line. Instead of admitting that, he tries to dismiss your concerns before you even ask. The problem with this lie is that it often plants doubt in a woman's mind. She may start questioning herself instead of the situation. Am I just being paranoid? Maybe I am overreacting. But let's be clear. Suspicion. When a relationship is built on trust, there is no need for hiding vague answers or defensiveness. If you ask about this so-called friend, a loyal man will have nothing to conceal. He will introduce you to her, talk openly about their conversations, and involve you in their interactions. But when a man is cheating or emotionally invested in someone else, he does the opposite. He might downplay the friendship, avoid details, or even get irritated when you bring it up. That irritation isn't about you being nosy or jealous. It's about his discomfort with being exposed. Pay attention to the patterns. Does he suddenly start spending more time with her, texting her late at night, or making plans that don't include you? Does he act differently when she's around? Maybe his body language shifts. He laughs more, leans in closer, or seems extra engaged when she speaks. These are subtle cues that something is happening beneath the surface. And here's the real test. If you ask to meet her or join them for a casual outing, how does he react? A man who is innocent has no issue with you getting to know his female friends. But a man who is cheating will make excuses. And it might say you wouldn't get along with her, or she's really shy around new people, or even why don't you trust me? These are all ways to keep you from seeing the dynamic firsthand. The truth is, real friendships don't require secrecy. If he has to hide text, change names in his phone, or suddenly put a passcode on his messages, that is not just a friend, it's a threat to your relationship. Emotional affairs often start with innocent interactions, but they grow in secrecy. A conversation here, a flirtation there, and before he knows it, he's invested in someone else while stringing you along. The most dangerous part, he might not even acknowledge that he's doing something wrong. So what should you do? First, trust your instincts. If you feel that something is off, do not ignore that feeling. Second, observe his actions, not just his words. If he's constantly texting this friend, but doesn't text you back, if he's more excited to see her than to spend time with you, or if he's suddenly more protective over his phone, those are signs of deception. Third, set boundaries. If your relationship is built on respect, he should have no problem making you feel secure. If he refuses to do that, then the real question isn't about her. It's about whether he deserves you at all. This is not just a lie, it's a manipulation tactic. When a man is cheating, he knows that the last thing he wants is for you to start questioning him. So what does he do? He turns the tables. Instead of addressing your concerns, he makes you doubt yourself. He tells you that you're overthinking, being dramatic, or acting insecure. This is what's known as gaslighting, a psychological strategy designed to make you question your own reality. And let me tell you, it's one of the most toxic things a person can do in a relationship. When you express concern about his behavior, maybe he's texting someone late at night, hiding his phone, or suddenly becoming more distant, your reaction is natural. It's not paranoia. It's pattern recognition. You notice changes in his routine, his energy, or even the way he interacts with you. But instead of giving you an honest answer, he attacks your emotions. Why are you so insecure? You're always looking for problems. Can't you just trust me? These responses aren't meant to reassure you. They're meant to silence you. He's making the issue about you instead of about his action. Now, let's be clear. Insecurity can exist in relationships, but there's a huge difference between feeling insecure and recognizing red flags. Insecurity is worrying that he'll leave you even when he's given you no reason to doubt. But when a man starts acting suspiciously, when he changes his habits, hides his phone, or starts being emotionally unavailable, that's not insecurity, that's intuition, and intuition is your greatest weapon. One of the biggest mistakes women make in these situations is apologizing for their feelings. You might start thinking, maybe I am overreacting, or I don't want to seem needy. But let me ask you this, since when is asking for honesty a sign of weakness? A strong relationship is built on trust, and trust is built on transparency. If he truly values you, he won't dismiss your concerns. He'll address them. A man who loves you won't mock your feelings. He will respect them. So what can you do if you hear this lie? First, don't let him rewrite reality. If something feels off, acknowledge it. Instead of accepting his gaslighting, stand firm for not being insecure. This shifts the conversation back to the real issue. Second, watch his reaction. A loyal man will want to reassure you, not shut you down. He'll be willing to have an open discussion, not make you feel crazy for asking questions. Third, remember your worth. If a man constantly makes you feel like your feelings don't matter, he is showing you exactly who he is, and you don't have to accept that. At the end of the day, the most powerful thing you can do is trust yourself. The truth has a way of revealing itself, and when it does, you'll realize that your instincts were right all along. The question is, will you listen to them, or will you let someone else convince you otherwise? This is one of the most convenient and widely used excuses a cheating man will give. Why? Because it's believable. In today's fast-paced world, people do work late. Deadlines pile up, projects demand extra hours, and sometimes staying late at the office is necessary. But when a man is using work as an excuse to cover up infidelity, the details of his extra hours start to crumble under scrutiny. At first, you might not think much of it. After all, working late isn't unusual. But then it starts happening more frequently. Suddenly, he's staying at the office late almost every night. He's unavailable at the usual times. He's too tired to talk, too busy to connect. And when he does come home, he's emotionally distant. Excuses pile up, right? It's just a busy season. My boss is really pushing me, or I have to prove myself at work. These sound reasonable, don't they? But here's the truth. If he's always at work, but his paycheck doesn't reflect it, if he's unreachable when he's supposedly working, or if his explanations don't add up, then you need to start asking the right questions. A man who is cheating knows that work is a solid cover story because it's hard to question. If you doubt him, he can easily turn it back on you. What, you don't want me to succeed? Or do you think I'd rather be at work than... These responses are designed to guilt trip you into dropping the conversation. But don't let guilt cloud your judgment. The reality is, when a man values you, he will make time for you, even if he's busy. So how can you tell if he's actually working late or if he's using it as a cover? Pay attention to patterns. Does his work schedule suddenly seem unpredictable? Is he vague about what he's working on? A man who's genuinely working will be able to tell you exactly what he's doing. What project, what deadline, what meeting. But a man who's lying will avoid specifics. Just a bunch of stuff. It's complicated, or I don't feel like talking about work right now, are all ways to deflect suspicion. Another red flag is his accessibility. If he's at work, he should still be reachable. If you text him, does he respond? Does he respond? If you call him, does he pick up? A man who is truly working might be busy, but he won't disappear for hours without a trace. A man who is cheating, however, will. He might say his phone died other light, he left it in another room, or he was too busy to check messages. But think about it, if his boss called, would he ignore the phone? No, so why should you believe that he's too busy for you? Then there's the biggest giveaway, his energy level. A man who's genuinely overworked will come home exhausted, but he will still show signs of emotional engagement. He'll talk about his day, share his frustrations, or at least acknowledge you. A man who is cheating, on the other hand, will come home drained, detached, and uninterested. Why? Because he's already given his emotional and physical energy to someone. So what should you do? First, don't ignore the signs. If his work habits change suddenly and without explanation, start paying attention. Second, ask the right questions. Instead of accusing him, say, what are you working on? Or tell me about your day. If his answers are vague, inconsistent, or defensive, that's a sign. Third, trust actions over words. If his behavior doesn't match what he's telling you, believe what you see, not what you hear. At the end of the day, a man who is committed to you will never make you feel like an afterthought. If he's truly busy, he will still find time to reassure you, to check in, to remind you that you matter. But if he's cheating, his excuses will always be louder than his actions. And once you see through the lie, the question becomes, are you willing to accept it, or will you demand the truth? This is one of the oldest tricks in the book. A simple, effortless excuse that's hard to disprove. The phrase, my phone died, is convenient because, let's face it, phones do run out of battery sometimes. But when a man uses this excuse frequently, especially when you're trying to reach him at critical moments, it's a red flag that cannot be ignored. Let's think logically for a moment. In today's world, where people are glued to their phones 24/7, how often does a responsible adult actually let their phone die? It's rare. We charge our phones overnight. We carry chargers in our cars, at work, and even in our pockets. Phones warn us when the battery is low. If his phone is always dying, then one of two things is happening. Either he's the most irresponsible phone user on the planet, or he's lying. And let's be honest, the second option is far more. So why does a cheating man use this excuse? Because it gives him an instant alibi. If you text him and he doesn't respond for hours, he can just say, oh, my phone died. If you call him multiple times and he doesn't answer, sorry, my phone was off. It's a convenient way to disappear without leaving a trace. No texts, no missed calls, no explanations needed. And if you question it, he flips the blame onto you. Or it's just a phone, don't be so paranoid. But let's break this down further. A man who is truly busy or whose phone actually dies will do one thing as soon as he gets access to a charger. He will contact you. He will let you know what happened. He will apologize for being unavailable. He will reassure you that everything is okay. But a man who is lying, he won't reach out first. He'll wait until you ask him about it, and then he'll casually drop the excuse like it's another major red flag. The timing. If his phone conveniently dies late at night during weekends or right when you need him, that's a pattern worth noticing. If his phone only seems to die when he's out with certain people or in certain places, that's not bad luck. It's a cover-up. If he always manages to keep his phone alive during work hours or when he's with you, but it mysteriously dies when he's out on his own, then it's not about the battery. It's about his behavior. And let's talk about modern technology for a second. We live in a world where portable chargers exist. Cars have USB ports. Coffee shops have charging stations. If he truly cared about staying connected to you, he would take steps to avoid being unreachable. The reality is, no one who values their relationship is okay with being completely out of contact for long periods, unless they have something to hide. So what should you do if your man constantly uses this excuse? First, observe the frequency. Does his phone only seem to die at suspicious times? Does he always have a reason why he couldn't charge it? Second, look at his response when you bring it up. A man who is innocent will be understood. He will acknowledge that being unreachable might have worried you. A guilty man, however, will get defensive. He'll accuse you of overreacting or make you feel like you're being controlling. Finally, pay attention to his actions. A man who truly values you will make an effort to stay connected. He will ensure his phone is charged. He will respond to your texts and calls. He won't disappear without explanation. But a man who is cheating will use this lie to create distance, to cover his tracks, and to make you doubt yourself. And when a man starts making you doubt what you see, what you hear, and what you feel, that's when you know it's time to start asking the hard questions. Because at the end of the day, a dead phone isn't the problem. The real issue is the deception behind it. This might be the most deceptive lie of all because it plays on your emotions. It's not just an excuse, it's a manipulation tool. When a man says, I love you in response to suspicion, doubt, or confrontation, he's not actually proving his love. He's using those words as a shield. It's a phrase designed to stop you from questioning him, to make you feel guilty for doubting, and to keep you emotionally invested, even when his actions tell a completely different story. Love is not just a word. It's not something you say to erase bad behavior. Love is demonstrated through actions, through respect, honesty, and commitment. A man who truly loves you will make sure you never feel the need to question his loyalty. But a man who is cheating will use "I love you" as a way to manipulate your trust while continuing to betray you behind your back. Think about when he says this phrase. Does he say it when things are good, or does he suddenly throw it out when you start asking questions? If every time you express concerns about his late nights, his secrecy, or his strange behavior, he responds with, "I love you," it's not love. It's damage control. He's not saying it because he wants to reassure you. He's saying it because he wants to silence you. Love is your weakness. He knows that deep down you want to believe him, you want to trust him, you want to hold on to the relationship. And by saying, "I love you," he plants doubt in your mind. He makes you question yourself instead of questioning him. Maybe I am overreacting, you might think. Maybe I just need to trust him more. But here's the hard truth. Trust is not about ignoring red flags. It's about mutual transparency and consistency. Let's take a closer look at the behavior behind these words. Does he treat you with the same love and respect when he isn't being questioned? Does he show his love through actions by being present, attentive, and honest? Or does he only pull out an "I love you" when he's trying to get out of trouble? Because love that is only expressed in moments of suspicion is not love. A loyal man doesn't need to convince you of his love every time you express doubt. His actions make you feel secure without the need for constant reassurance. But a man who is hiding something will use "I love you" as a smokescreen, hoping you'll accept those words instead of demanding accountability. So how do you handle this? First, don't let words override actions. If he says he loves you, but his behavior makes you feel unwanted, unheard, or deceived, then his words mean nothing. Second, challenge him. The next time he says, "I love you," ask, "Then why do I feel like I can't trust you?" Watch his reaction. A guilty man will get defensive, but an honest man will want to understand your feelings. Finally, love does not require constant convincing. A man who truly loves you will show it, not just say it. And if a man is using "I love you" as an excuse, as a way to avoid the truth, or as a means to keep you from walking away, then he doesn't love you. He loves the control he has over you. And that is not love. It's manipulation. This is one of the most dangerous and manipulative lies a cheating man can tell. When he says it's all in your head, he's not just denying his actions. He's actively trying to make you doubt your own judgment, your instincts, and even your sanity. This is a classic gaslighting technique designed to shift the blame onto you and make you question whether your suspicions are even real. Let's break this down. You notice changes in his behavior. He's suddenly more secretive with his phone, working late more often, and acting distant. You feel that something is off. Maybe he smells different. Maybe he's suddenly obsessed with how he looks when he leaves the house, or maybe he seems emotionally disconnected when he's with you. You bring up your concerns hoping for reassurance, but instead of an honest conversation, you get hit with your overthinking. You're imagining things. You're just being insecure. At first, you might brush it off. Maybe he's right. Maybe you are being paranoid, but then the signs keep appearing. The gut feeling doesn't go away. Catch him in small lies, but every time you confront him, he flips the script. Why are you so jealous? I can't believe you don't trust me. You always do this. You create problems out of nothing. This is not just a denial. It's an attack on your reality. It's psychological warfare. Because the moment he convinces you that your intuition is wrong, he gains full control of the narrative. He makes you doubt your ability to see the truth. He makes you second guess yourself so much that eventually you stop questioning him altogether. That's exactly what he wants. A cheating man understands that guilt can be hidden, but suspicion lingers. So instead of addressing your concerns, he makes you feel guilty for having them in the first place. And if you buy into this lie, if you start believing that your instincts are just crazy thoughts, he wins. He gets to keep lying, keep cheating, and keep making you feel like the problem is you, not him. But here's what you need to know. Your instincts are rarely wrong. Human intuition is powerful. If something feels off, it usually is. Your subconscious picks up on inconsistencies, on unspoken truths, on energy shifts, and instead of ignoring it, you should trust it. Here, how do you handle this lie? First, stand firm in your reality. If his words don't match his actions, trust what you see, not what he says. Second, pay attention to patterns. A single misunderstanding can happen. But if you're constantly being told that you're crazy for noticing things that don't add up, that's a manipulation tactic, not an accident. Third, observe his reaction. A man who loves you and respects you will acknowledge your feelings and try to reassure you. A man who is lying will attack your feelings and try to silence you. That difference is crucial. At the end of the day, love is not about making someone doubt their own mind. A real partner will want you to feel safe, secure, and validated. But a man who says it's all in your head when you've seen the signs, felt the shift, and heard the lies, he's not just cheating on you. He's trying to control you. And the moment you recognize that, you take back your power, because the truth is, it's not all in your head. It's right in front of you. And now it's up to you to decide what to do about it. Cheating isn't just about betrayal. It's about deception. And deception isn't always obvious. It doesn't come with a flashing red sign or a full confession. It comes in the form of subtle manipulation, small lies that build into bigger ones, and a carefully constructed reality where you are made to doubt your own instincts. A man who cheats will do everything in his power to keep you from seeing the truth. He will use words as weapons, twisting them to avoid accountability, to shift blame, to make you question yourself instead of questioning him. And if you let these lies take root, you will find yourself in a relationship where you are constantly fighting to prove something that deep down you already know. But here's the truth. You don't need proof to trust your instincts. You don't need to catch every lie or uncover every secret to know when something is wrong. If you feel disrespected, ignored, or deceived, that is enough. You don't need a smoking gun to walk away from a situation that makes you feel small, unheard, or unworthy. A real man, a loyal man, will not put you in a position where you have to question his love, his honesty, or his integrity. Love is not about convincing someone that they can trust you. It's about living in a way that makes trust effortless. And if you're in a relationship where lies are more common than truth, where words are used to manipulate instead of to reassure, then you have a choice to make. You deserve honesty. You deserve respect. You deserve a love that does not require you to second guess yourself. And if the man in your life is feeding you these lies, if he's making you feel like you're the problem for noticing the cracks in his story, then you need to ask yourself a simple question. Is this the kind of love you want? Because at the end of the day, the greatest lie a man can tell you isn't just the one he says. It's the one he makes you believe about yourself. And once you stop believing the lie, you take back your power. You reclaim your worth. And you walk away from anything that doesn't honor the love you truly deserve.